All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and a couple of you guys been hitting me up asking me just what's going on with Wave and why I only made one initial video on the character and nothing else, even though she was one of the new characters that came in this update. And the simple answer for that is I've just been having so much fun with Silver Surfer and Namor that I kind of just put her on the back burner, and ultimately I forgot about her. But I did complete her heroic quest a few days ago, so I'm sitting on 430 bios here for her, which ideally should be good enough to get her up to tier 2, fingers crossed. But you guys have seen my luck for the past few months, so I'm kind of expecting to get destroyed here, and I'm probably gonna have to use another 750 crystals to do her heroic quest another time. But hopefully that's not the case, right? Hopefully we can get her done today and we can do a rank up and gameplay video for her, because I know a couple of you guys out there actually really like the character, right? And honestly, I think she's gonna have long-term usage simply because of the fact that she has a good support passive, right? So that's a reason why you guys should definitely at least get her up to tier 2. You don't have to give her the greatest build, but you should at the very least pick up the character and get her up to tier 2. That's my suggestion, right? Her skill set is decent, right? You can find use for her in Shadowland, and you can also find use for her in World Boss Ultimate. But ultimately, right, her role in this game is going to be as a support character and also as a leadership for Namor, for those of you guys who do not have Nick Fury. So far it's looking pretty good, right? But that's just because I'm switching between gears and I'm doing the first few levels for each gear first, and generally these are very cheap, and then after that you just start getting annihilated. So I'm expecting that to happen at any point in time, but so far it's looking good. I'm tempted to go for this one as well, but 18 isn't bad. Anything under 15 is generally very good, right? Okay, one is nice. Ideally, I want to get this gear maxed out because it has 3 really good stats, right? One that I rolled for the skill cooldown, since she doesn't get that natively, right? And then the crit rate and ignore defense is definitely valuable. Even though she doesn't need that much crit rate, she only needs 45%. Yeah, because she has a big crit rate buff on her. Nice. Okay. This is going good so far. She has a big crit rate buff on her, I believe, her 5th skill, either her 5th or her 4th. I'm going to have to double check, but I know for sure she has a crit rate buff, which means when it comes to an obelisk for her, ideally you want to go for something like crit damage, ignore, dodge, right? And that way she'll be really good against Corvus Glaive, ideally, right? But that guy has a lot of bleed and there's a couple gaps in between her skills. So yeah, wow, we got really lucky. I don't think I've gotten this lucky on gear rolls in a hot minute. Like, we almost had enough to oh my goodness, like if I wanted to be like as reserved as possible, I could just start up the quest in think a few hours, maybe like a day or so, and then just get a couple more bios for her, which would probably be better than using a ticket. But man, we're gonna use a ticket and just get her done. And yeah, let's see what we can do. Wrath of the Waves unlocked. All right, so we're not gonna give her any rules in this, right? We're just gonna play with the build as is. Well, that's not true. We're gonna give her a custom gear, that's for sure. I have something down here that I rolled for her a couple of days. This is ideally what you want to go for Wave if you really like the character. If you want to, you can give her a CTP of energy, but I don't think personally, that's just me being like realistic right now, right? I don't think she's deserving of a CTP of energy because you're mostly going to use her as a support character. Unless she's like one of your favorite characters ever, then sure, yeah, go ahead, give her a CTP of energy. But for the mass, like, you know what I'm saying, for the vast majority of the player base, nah, you shouldn't do that. Because yeah, we have all attack here, we have the crit rate, so yeah, you want to supplement that with crit damage. I find that most of the characters in the game, that's what they need crit damage. Some of them need crit damage and crit rate, but there's a few of them that just need crit damage. Okay, so she's good. We do need a little bit of ignore defense there, We're way over on crit rate, but that's nothing. There's nothing we can do about that. All right, so we're gonna leave her like this for now. I'm not even gonna put any urus on her because it's like, honestly, it's clear as day to me that she's just gonna be a character that I use to make my other characters stronger. But let's see if we can bang out a floor 44 here with her. She has a type disadvantage against the combat types here, but she'll also be dealing additional damage to them just because of her passive. So we should see how this turns out. Now her crowd control looks really good. We're gonna start off with the 5th. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, she's gonna melt these guys, especially when the other 2 come out. See, there's a couple gaps in the iframe. You might not be able to see it when you're in Shadowland because you can crowd control the enemies. You can just guard break them with the water, right? But when you're in War Boss Ultimate, you're gonna really notice it. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. We're getting hit a little bit, and since she's a speed type, that's not good. And she doesn't have a heal, so probably want to tighten up on that. But it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a decent amount of damage, right? Okay, these guys should ideally go down by 1 minute. Not bad. So she's definitely not a bad character, like on her own as a standalone damage dealer. She isn't like terrible, right? But in my opinion, she is mainly going to be a support character, which there's nothing wrong with that. We could always use more support characters, you know what I'm saying? Characters like those have staying power, so no matter what happens in the future, right, we're always going to have hard content in the game that requires us to go up against super villains, right? So yeah, passives like hers are going to be very useful. So we're going to try to do stage 50 here. It's probably going to be too much for her ultimately, but we're going to go with Nick Fury's lead plus his support passive. Then we're also going to use Coulson, right? Where is Coulson? There we go. Coulson for his support passive, and then we'll use her. So she basically has 3 support passives plus a leadership. That's a lot. That's a lot, right? So we're going to go with a couple strikers here, and we only need like 2 ignore dodge. Yeah, but the thing is, she's gonna take a lot of bleed damage. So do I want to drop? Let's drop Sue and give her, yeah, let's give her anti-venom. Now this is gonna be very interesting because in Shadowland you guys were already seeing the gaps in her iframe. She was taking damage and stuff, and in Shadowland she has a significant advantage because she can just keep guard broken. Ooh, hold up. She can just keep the enemy's guard broken pretty much indefinitely with all the waves, right? But in World Boss, you can't do that. The bosses are just gonna immediately find the frames that are not complete, and ooh, I thought he was there you go. Thought I was gonna do that, but he was still mind control for a couple seconds. But yeah, the bosses are gonna find the frames that are not complete, and they're going to make you pay for that, right? It really sucks that Netmarble gave her 2 fairly long iframes, but they're not safe at all. You can clearly see that they're not safe. While you're in the skills and you're doing damage, you're also exposed and you're taking damage, and a lot of it, and she cannot take a lot of damage and she doesn't heal. So even though her damage is looking pretty decent on stage 50 here, keep in mind she's a level 60 character, right? But yeah, her survivability doesn't allow for her to hold up in these kind of situations, especially when you have the poison. Ooh, Scarlet is definitely helping big time, right? Especially when you have the poison or these stupid blade twisters in here. I keep having to tag because while you're in the iframe, the poison will still fall beneath you, and when that happens, she'll take damage. Even like, well, I guess she won't take damage in the iframe, but the gaps in the iframe while she's using the skills will expose her, and she'll start taking damage and probably die in the frame, which is about to happen here. So she kind of reminds me of, like, even though they're not like exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me of when we got Korath and he looked really good, right? But then I took him into World Boss. Yep, she just got clapped there. And then the gaps in the frames and stuff just made him really, really bad for World Boss. I think that's the same vibe I'm getting from Wave here, right? She might be good for very low end World Boss, but ultimately I think she's gonna fall in the support category, definitely. And in my opinion, White Fox is definitely superior because she has a heal that is built in, she has iframes that are complete, and in addition to that, she has charm, which she can use to keep the bosses suppressed. So yeah, I might do a comparison between the two, but my money is definitely on White Fox. If you have not done her heroic quest yet, you should do hers first, then you should definitely pick up Wave. But in my opinion, you should give Wave the minimum that you need to, like, get her up to tier 2. Probably don't even need to give her an ISO set or even a custom gear unless you want to use her for a Shadowland solo, because I think ultimately she's gonna fall into the category of somebody like Phil Coulson. Obviously, Phil Coulson is pure garbage, pure garbage, right? That guy is pure garbage. He has no value outside of his support passive. For her, she can at least get you a fairly high level Shadowland solo. You saw for yourself, I was able to get through 44. She's probably able to go all the way up to 60, but it's not going to translate to much in World Boss Ultimate, in my opinion. That's just my opinion though. I may play with the character a little bit more, might be able to do some more things with her, but ultimately I don't think she's going to stand out as a standalone DPS. She's not going to be a monster or anything. She'll probably go into like the beast category, just above the garbage tier, right? And that's just off of her value of the tier 2 passive here, in addition to the fact that she has a couple life frames and she hits decently hard, right? Not crazy hard, but decent enough to warrant that ranking. But nonetheless, boys, we're gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you feel differently, let me know. But I don't think anybody should be like investing everything they have into Wave. Definitely not, unless you are a whale and you just really like the character and you just want to get her to rank 1. Then do you, homie, do you. But ultimately, if you're new to the game or you just really like the character, focus on the priority characters first and slowly build her in the background. Get her up to tier 2. She's definitely gonna be of use to you long term. But besides this, I don't really see too much coming out of her outside of Shadowland. But that's it for this one, man. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next one. I know a couple of you guys are gonna say, well, she can be using Alliance Conquest, and you're probably right, right? The crowd control on her 5 and a 4, yeah, can probably use her in Conquest. But honestly, guys, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I probably haven't touched Alliance Conquest in like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months. Yeah, so that should tell y'all how I feel about Alliance Conquest. I'm out, man. Peace.